A world where we can breathe without borders of identity, gender, or race. A world where we are free, spoken, heard, and equal. A world where we can all belong.
The UN first became a thing in 1945, just after the Second World War. The big Allied Four wanted to prevent another huge war from ever happening again, so they formed a new organisation designed to do just that.
San Francisco, California, a momentous conference begins. Here, leaders of the United Nations, representing all but a fraction of the Earth's population, are laying the foundations of international security in the post-war world.
On the 25th of April 1945, 850 representatives from 50 countries met in what was, at the time, the largest international gathering ever. The end result was this, the United Nations Charter. It's a legally binding contract between all the countries involved and includes all the things the UN wants to achieve, like getting rid of poverty and disease, providing food and aid to those who need it, improving health services, disaster relief, protecting human rights, and making sure countries follow international laws.
First to sign is China.
On the 24th of July 1945, after a bunch of revisions, it was agreed upon and signed by all the countries involved. And a couple of months later, on the 24th of October, it came into force, the date we now mark as the UN's birthday. Today, the United Nations consists of 193 countries and has accomplished a lot of the things it first set out to do. It's managed by the Security Council, which is made up by 5 permanent members: France, Britain, the United States, China, and Russia. They're in charge of helping countries resolve conflicts.
I now give the floor to the Secretary.
To help make any decisions, the UN holds a General Assembly.
General Assembly is the main policy-making and representative organ of the United Nations. All the 193 members of the UN are represented in the General Assembly. Every member country has one vote and puts forth its views, ideas, and opinions. It meets once a year to take important decisions and make recommendations to the member countries. The General Assembly handles important issues such as peace and security, admission of new members, and granting financial help to the nations. The Economic and Social Council. The Council works towards the social and economic progress and development at a worldwide level. It deals with issues such as hunger, poverty, illiteracy, famine, etc. The Economic and Social Council works hand in hand with the other bodies of the UNO, such as World Bank, WB, and International Monetary Fund, IMF, for economic issues. Major agencies of the UN. The United Nations operates through different agencies. These agencies primarily work towards the social and economic development of developing nations. Some of these agencies are UNICEF. The United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund was established in 1946.
It works to meet the food, health, and educational needs of children and women in developing countries.
WHO. Established on 7th April 1948, the World Health Organization, WHO, works towards fighting various diseases and improvement of health and sanitation facilities. The WHO was instrumental in eradicating smallpox and is actively working towards the same for diseases such as polio, malaria, and tuberculosis in many developing countries.
Food and Agricultural Organization, that is, FAO. It was established on 16th October 1945. Its headquarters are in Rome, Italy. The FAO works in the field of seed development, controlling spread of diseases in crops and animals, and spreading awareness about improved irrigation techniques and conservation of soil and forests. It also provides expertise and assistance during epidemics and other natural calamities. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is, UNESCO. The UNESCO works largely towards establishing peace and sustainable development across countries by using education, science and culture. It conducts major programs in the fields of social sciences, human sciences, culture, communication and education. The UNESCO was formed on 4th November 1946 and is headquartered in Paris, France.
ILO. The International Labour Organization, ILO, works towards providing better standards and fair working conditions for people all over the world. India's role in the UNO. India has been a member state of the United Nations organization right since its inception. It has supported the UNO peacekeeping forces on different missions to Sri Lanka, Korea, Indochina, DRC, Zaire, etc. The UNO agencies work hand in hand with the Government of India to achieve common goals of active progress and development in a humane way. UNICEF supports the Government of India's Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan to ensure greater access to education, enrollment, and improved learning outcomes for the most marginalized groups of children. India has been receiving valuable assistance from the UNO bodies like the World Bank, Food and Agriculture Organization, and the World Health Organization.